Questions for oral answer, and the first question is in the name of Andrew Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, how many new jobs, if any, are forecast in Budget 2013?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, well, thank you for asking about jobs, a key focus for the government. The budget forecasts are done independently by the Treasury, who predict that there will be 60,000 more people employed over the course of 2013 and a further 54,000 in 2014. Since the budget forecasts were finalised, the actual numbers for the first quarter of 2013 have been released, showing an increase of 38,000 of the predicted 60,000 for the calendar year growth in employment. However, these numbers can fluctuate from quarter to quarter. This reflects in part reasonably strong growth in the New Zealand economy, as well as growth in exports, low interest rates, low inflation, and the confidence built by government maintaining its tractor surplus.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Andrew Williams.
To the Minister of Finance, why is annual average employment growth estimated to be negative 0.8% in the June 2013 quarter of the 2013 budget, given that Budget 2011 forecast 170,000 new jobs by 2015?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, that's a very good question, and one that I would where I'd need to go and look at the detail to be able to answer the member. As I said, job growth is forecast based on reasonable growth in the economy. I think we would accept two things. One is job growth was pretty soft in 2012, softer than was expected, so there was less extra people in employment than expected. And looking out over the next 12 months, job growth, as measured by these statistical methods, is likely to fluctuate from quarter to quarter around a rising trend.
Supplementary question, Andrew Williams.
So given that the June quarter shows a negative 0.8% average employment growth, and given that the Budget 2011 forecast 170,000 new jobs by 2015, and that Budget 2013 is now halfway through that time frame, how many of those 170,000 new jobs has the government actually delivered?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr. Speaker, in the first place, the government doesn't directly deliver jobs. It delivers an environment where businesses are confident enough to make the decision to invest and employ. Secondly, in response to the member's question, the fact is in calendar year 2012, job growth was pretty soft, and of the 170,000 jobs that were forecast in Budget 2010, it's currently about 40,000 behind that forecast. However, the forecasts ahead of us do look a bit more sure, because we're closer to the rebuild of Christchurch, and there's likely to be more success in getting Auckland housing underway.
Supplementary question, Todd McClay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What is the government doing to support more jobs?
Honourable Bill English. Order. Order.
Well,
Honourable Bill English.
Instead of printing money and excessive government spending, what we're doing is focusing the business growth agenda on getting businesses to make the decision that constitutes growth. So the business growth agenda sets out over 200 initiatives, all of which are designed to, in fact, closer to 300 initiatives, all of which are designed to support and encourage business to invest another dollar and employ another person. And the indications from anecdotal evidence and from measures of business confidence is that New Zealand business is increasingly interested in hiring more people.
Supplementary question, Andrew Williams.
Supplementary to the Minister of Finance. Does he consider that the 354 new jobs at WINS announced in the Budget 2013 to be part of those 170,000 jobs forecast in Budget 2011? And why are those new jobs, 354 of them at WINS, required if his government is predicting a decline in unemployment?
Honourable Bill English.
Precisely because we are shifting the focus of who government supports back into work. What's become clear through the welfare reform and the investment approach is that people who are on unemployment, who have been the focus of much of government's support activity, have a pretty high probability of getting jobs again. However, other parts of the beneficiary population, in particular solo parents and sickness beneficiaries, have been left languishing, particularly by the previous government. We've decided they deserve more support, and more of them will get work if we support them. And that's where the 350 new jobs and wins, that's why those jobs are there.
Supplementary question, Grant Robertson.
Is it correct that the budget documents show that National will be 61,000 jobs short of the 170,000 extra job promise that he made in Budget 2010 and repeated on the election trail in 2011?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, as I've pointed out to the member, the job numbers are forecasts made by Treasury in the same way that GDP growth is a forecast made by Treasury. In answer to the question, yes, and the reason is because the economy was slower last year. But I can tell that member that promises of printing money and stopping all economic growth are not the recipe for more jobs.
Point of order. Grant Robertson.
I seek leave of the House to table the National Party's ad from the 2011 election campaign, 170,000 more jobs, which the Finance Minister has just told us won't be met.
Leave is sought to table that. Is there any objection? There is none. Supplementary question, Andrew Williams.
Supplementary to the Minister. So given that the number of Kiwis on the unemployment benefit was numbered 23,000 when his government took office, and now sits at 49,000, how can he claim that his economic management isn't putting people out of work?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, there's been a few events occurred since we took office, which the member may not be aware of. There was a large earthquake in Christchurch. There was a global financial crisis. There was the worst recession since the Great Depression of the 1930s. And in that context, we've done pretty well. But if that member wants to stay on planet Labor, he will remain out of touch with what's happening in the real world.
Mr Speaker.
Order. Supplementary question, Todd McClay.
Thank you. To the Minister, what policies has he seen that will reduce jobs?
Mr
Honourable
Speaker.
Bill English.
Well, I have seen a few. A policy which will use the emissions trading system to increase power prices by $500 per family will probably destroy jobs. Policies of opposing all new mining and oil and gas exploration will probably destroy jobs. Policies designed to shut down the dairy industry will probably destroy jobs, Mr Speaker. And policies to print money and erode confidence of business will probably destroy jobs. And those are the policies of the Labor-Green opposition.
Question number 2, the Honourable Kate Wilkinson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, how did the budget on 16 May contribute